Okay, so today topic is called property fundamentals. Okay. Oh, for those who do not know Elite One Academy, Academy is like a place for you to learn things, and we have Elite One Academy on a weekly basis on a Monday, 8 o'clock at night. So most of the time we'll be doing Zoom session, so it'll be online session, and sometimes okay we'll announce that if you want to do offline session, then we'll be doing in Hall of Champions, or we'll book one of the Exim properties to do the training. But after MCO, since MCO, we've been doing online trainings. I think that's easiest for a lot of people. Okay, so let's start with these questions. Why do you want to invest into property? Can someone write your answers in the chat box below? Now, every one of you join IQI, you want to sell properties, right? You want to make a lot of money. So, but have you ever asked yourself these questions? Why should your client buy properties from you? Why? Why should they buy property? Derek say to make money. Okay, let me write down to make money. Any other answer? Okay, make money. Okay, capital appreciation and saving money. Okay, savings are savings. Rental income. What other reason? Make money plus property. Better living standard. Better living standard. So buying a nicer property. So instead of staying in a small house, you want to have a bigger house. After buying a sell property at higher pricing, okay, that's making more money. Use less money to get more money. Okay, that's also money. What other reason? When retired, no need worried income. Okay, retirement fund. Diversification, additional income stream. That's also money. Yeah. Any other reason beside making more money? Building asset. Yep. Building asset. That's also for money, right? As an investment. Hey, you miss out the most important thing. Why people buy property? For collection, yeah, for collection. Holiday home. Secure future. What kind of secure future? Like you have a house to stay, you don't have to worry about being kicked out. Hedge against inflation. That's also money. Cash flow. That's rental income. Okay. Buy their dreams. Correct also. Maybe it's their dream of buying a property. Come more reason why people invest into properties. COVID can stay at home, so a place to stay. Okay. Actually, don't have to think so much. Buying a house is for people to stay. A lot of people buy a house so that they can have a place to stay, right? So own stay. Passive income, yes, passive income is money. Pass to second generation, yes, this is also a very good reason. Pass to the children. Why I want you to think about all this? Because when you are selling a property, you need to think about all these reasons, why people want to invest in a property. And all this reason can be your unique selling point in pushing the properties or marketing the properties to your potential buyers. So I'll talk about pass to second generation also later. So all this, I can actually categorize it into two categories. Okay. One is own stay. You buy a property for own stay, right? The second one is investment. Okay. Agree with me? So you are talking about so many things just now: money, rental income, savings, retirement fund, better living standard, collection, dream. All this reason can be categorized into two big categories. Okay, own stay and also investment. So we'll be talking about own stay first. Okay, let's talk about own stay. So now you are a property agent. You want to sell properties, and the buyers is actually buying for own stay. So what selling points, okay, you want to show to the buyer so that he cares? always remember, yeah, for people who are new, when you are selling, you always have to think about the most powerful FM in the world. Okay, what's the most powerful FM in the world? Is VFM. What's VFM? Anyone have heard about VFM before? So if you know, type in the chat box below. What's VFM? Always remember, as a property agent, you have to always remember VFM, or even you're an insurance agent. Or okay, Derek say, what's it for me? What's in it for me? Okay, what's in it for me? I mean, if you say, oh, this property is 4 bedrooms, so what? This property located in Bukit Jalil, opposite Pavilion, so what? This property has an infinity swimming pool, so what? Okay, so as a property agent, when we present, we have to, okay, remember the things that you present has to have this element called VFM. Means it has to be related to your buyers. For example, if your buyer is a newlywed couple, okay, newlywed couple, tell me why d'Ivo is suitable for them. Why d'Ivo? Anyone have studied d'Ivo before? No, okay. d'Ivo, right now, we have the big units. Example, I write example here. d'Ivo. Okay, d'Ivo. Okay, first, location. Yes, correct. So, Sorenhan. Location. Why location is suitable for a newlywed couple? Okay, why d'Ivo is suitable? Yeah, Mid Valley, that one, correct. Very near to Mid Valley. Okay, so location is near Mid Valley. Okay, so near Mid Valley is a fact. So we have to talk about why near Mid Valley is good for them. Because if you stay here, if you want to go for shopping, it's very convenient, right? You drive 5 minutes, you go to Mid Valley already. And opposite d'Ivo, there's Pearl Surya. Okay, there's a Pearl Point shopping mall. So it's very easy to buy anything. Like Penny say, very easy to buy anything. So very easy to buy anything is a VFM. So you have to make them imagine, okay? Make your client imagine. Next time when you are staying here, if you suddenly want to buy, let's say, toilet papers, let's say, you don't have to drive all the way to a far place to buy. You just have to walk down. Okay, d'Ivo should have a supermarket below or convenience store. The convenience store is just under you. Okay, you don't have to drive out. Or you can just drive like 5 minutes, or not even 5 minutes, 2 minutes to Pearl Point or Pearl Surya to Jaya Grocer to buy wherever grocery that you need to buy. So imagine that is very, very convenient. Okay, medium and low price living costs. Yes, correct also. Staying in Oakland Road, there are a lot of food around. Okay, food. And the food is not very expensive. So your cost of living will be lower. Imagine yourself staying in Bangsar South or Bangsar. Then all the restaurants there are very expensive. But in Oakland Road, if you want the higher end one, you go to Mid Valley, Bangsar, which is very near. If you want the cheaper one, okay, there's Zafan. There's I mean the mixed rice just opposite, where 10 ringgit you can have a very good meal already. So like what Ellie said just now, yeah, low cost of living, medium cost of living. So this is VFM. So imagine next time when you're staying here, okay, it's very convenient for you to get food. Okay, what else? This is the location. d'Ivo is 4 bedrooms. Why is 4 bedrooms so important? Imagine you're newlywed. You're newlywed, of course. Most of the couple plan to have children. Okay, so and then most of the newlywed couples, we have parents. Okay, so when the parents come over to KL, they want to stay in their house. So a 4-bedroom is very suitable because you yourself, you and your wife stay in one room. If you have 2 kids, okay, 1 kid stay in one room, each room. And the final room is your parents' room. So it's very good for your if your parents come over, if you are from outstation, your parents come over, you have a place for them to stay. And for a lot of people, this is a very important point because I saw one DIVO just a few weeks ago. Why they buy is because there are 4 bedrooms. And then they are saying, okay, my mom always want to come and visit me. Okay, when you hear this, my mom always want to visit me, then click 4 bedrooms suitable for you. Yeah, imagine. Okay, you always have to ask your client to imagine. Imagine, okay, if you only have 2 bedrooms or 3 bedrooms, okay, and when your parents come over, okay, your kid have to go and sleep on the living room. The room, of course, you have to give to your parents if your parents is on a age is old on the older side. You give the bedroom to your parents, and your kids have to stay in the living room. Will they feel happy? No, right? They don't feel happy, right? Then the relationship between your son and your father is not so good anymore. Maybe your son doesn't want grandpa to come so often. And whenever grandpa or grandma come, I have to sleep in the living room. Very mafan. So you better don't come. So because of you don't have 4 bedrooms, your relationship between your son and your parents are not so good anymore. Okay, so 4 bedroom is very important. Of course, this depends on what product you have, yeah. But this one is very important so that it's related to your buyers who are buying for own stay. So what other points is good for own stay? You have a very big swimming pool. So imagine in the future, okay, you can just walk down to the 8th floor and then you can enjoy this delta pool. Okay, the delta pool in DIVO is super big, super nice. It's overlooking the highways. Yeah. So for people who are single, okay, for example, if you want to sell to a single guy, you can ask him to imagine, okay, next time when you bring your girlfriend over or you bring your potential girlfriend over, you say, hey, come to my house. I have a very big swimming pool, very beautiful one. Bring your swim clothes along. At night, we can do swimming. You see, that's a very good reason to actually ask girls to your house, right? You can't just blindly ask, hey, come to my house, right? You must have a reason. And the reason is, hey, have you heard of Delta Pool? They say, no, I haven't heard of Delta Pool. Delta Pool is a very beautiful swimming pool in DIVO. Come tonight, I show you. You bring your swimming coats over. Then your opportunity, okay, of getting, okay, the girl you want is a lot higher. So now it's related, a lot of people, single men, okay, they will start thinking, oh, yeah, next time if I have unit over here, I stay here, then I can bring girls over. Or even if you rent out the place, you have a access card, right? You can bring the girls over also. So that's related to your client already. Yeah, you see Lillian is laughing. Yeah. So this is what sales is all about. You have to be VFM. So actually a few weeks ago I also talked about FPET, but so today I'll not be talking about FPET. FPET is feature, benefits, advantage, and testimonial. So this is a formula that we use to organize our thoughts, okay, when we want to do presentation. Okay, Alice said easy, organize, and design. Yep, 4 bedrooms. You can make use of 1 bedroom as your storeroom. Nowadays, a lot of people have a lot of things, okay, in the house. And if you're not staying in a landed house, you don't have extra space to keep all your things. So if you have 4 bedrooms, on top of the 4 bedrooms, you have a space, okay, storage space in DIVO where you can put your things. Then your room become more neat and tidy. And that day I actually visited one of my friend apartment in Damansara, near Hong Leong side, the DC Mall, near DC Mall. She actually turned one of the bedroom into her closet. So she put all the clothes, you know, ladies have a lot of clothes, and then a lot of bags and a lot of shoes. They put all the shoes, all the bags, all the clothes in one single room, quite a big room, you know, turn the entire room into a closet. So with D-iVo, you can do that also. Okay, if you have a lot of things, okay, if your wife like to buy a lot of things, turn that room into a closet. For her, she'll be very happy. And then your room will be more neat and tidy because most of the stuff will be inside the storeroom already. Okay, so you see, from when you want to sell own stay, you have to talk about all these features that is related to your client. Okay, so there's no general formula. Just when you meet a client, depends on what the client is looking for. Then you create your story to match her or his needs. All right, so far so good. If it's good, put number 5 in the chat box below, so I know you're still here. Cool. All right, I see a lot of 5s. Okay, the second one is investment. Okay, let's talk about investment. So when you're talking about investment, what things are the investor looking for? Money, right? Of course, they're looking for money. You want to make a lot of money from this investment. Okay, return, yes, correct. ROI, return. Okay, so when they talk about return, ROI, money, okay, what are they actually talking about? I can break down into 2 separate parts. Okay, one is capital appreciation. Second is rental yield. Okay, so as a property agent, you need to understand how to calculate capital appreciation. Okay, how to do a comparison, how to calculate rental yield. Okay, there are a few ways to calculate rental, which I'll show you now. Okay, so when you're talking about investment, you have to talk about how much money eventually they make. Okay, and there's a formula to calculate that. For capital appreciation, the ROI is actually your profit. What is profit? It's how much money you make. Okay, you buy as 100,000, you sell at 200,000, that's 100,000 profit. Divide by your initial capital. Okay, or okay, there are a few ways. Let's talk about the first way, which is the price. Okay, so the first way of calculating ROI times 100%. Okay, imagine, for example, you have a property, you buy at 600,000. Okay, you buy at 600,000, you sell at 700,000. Imagine that's net profit. All the miscellaneous is covered. So you have 100,000 profit. So what is the ROI? So the ROI is equals to 100,000 divided by your price, which is 600,000 times 100%. Okay, let's do a calculation. 1 divided by 6, so that's 16%. Okay, is it reasonable? Okay lah. But if you calculate that way, very unlikely you'll sell the property. Why? Because this is, you are using the price of the property as your denominator. So that's why your return is a lot lower. So now let's do another way. Okay, another calculation. This is called ROI for cash on cash return. Means how much cash you come out and how much profit you make. Okay, so this one is profit divided by, this is your initial investment. What do I mean by initial investment? So this is how much money you take out from your own pocket. When you're buying a 600,000 property, normally, how much money you take out? Can someone write in the chat box below? Okay, Saw says 60,000 or less. Yes, correct. By law, you have to pay 10% down payment, right? Okay, imagine you have to pay 10% down payment. So if I calculate that way, I make 100,000. Imagine in the meantime, you rent out our property and that property, that rental can cover your interest. How much is my initial investment? 60,000. Now, you see, it's different already. The number is totally different. How much is this? 10 divided by 6 times 100. That's 166%. So that's 10 times more than the first calculation. So let me highlight to you. This one is 16%. This is ROI. This is ROI for cash on cash return, meaning how much money you come out with, okay, and how much you get back. And that one you get 166%. So for all of you, it's very important to understand this concept, because when you are selling to investor, some of the investor will ask you this question, which later I'll ask you. The question is, why invest into property while FD give me 4% or share give me 6% dividend on a yearly basis? 3 years, that's 18% already. So you have to understand this concept to answer that questions. Okay, imagine if I have 500,000, I put in FD, I get 4%. I put in share, maybe Maybank, I get 6% dividend yield. Or I put in some investment fund, I also get 5 to 6%. Why should I buy property? So some of agent actually asked me these questions, call me and ask me these questions a few days ago. So I told them, of course, if you're buying the property using cash, let's say 600,000 property, you use 600,000 cash to buy, then I would advise you to actually better put in FD or put it into shares, because the return will be higher and safer and easier to withdraw your money. However, property has one thing, okay, that all other investments do not have. And what is that? Hey, smart, Derek. Property use OPM. So what's OPM? I'll be jumping OPM. OPM is other people's money. So for those who do not know, just write it down. Others people money. So you're not using your own money because you get the loan from the bank, right? Okay, 600,000. Let's come back to the examples just now. Your 600,000 property. Okay, we call it initial investment. Okay, more proper. Okay, you don't say down payment. We say initial investment. Your initial, let's write it nicer. Okay, initial investment is how much? 60,000. Okay, and your loan is equals to 540,000. So, in fact, when your property appreciate to 700,000, so this is the things that you need to know how to draw. Okay, there's a one. That's how many percent gain? Okay, 100,000 divided by 600,000. Okay, just now I already calculated 16% gain. But then your investment 60,000 okay, your 60,000 becomes 100,000. You can see. So that's how much percent? How many percent gain? Okay, that's your 60,000 become 100,000. That's 40 divided by 60. 66% gain. So I want to get this concept right. Your property 600,000 becomes 700,000. That's 16% gain on the property price. However, your capital become 100,000. Okay. In fact, it's not 100,000. Sorry, it's 160,000 because that includes the initial, your initial 60,000, and you make 100,000. So your 60,000 become 160,000. So that's 100,000 over 60,000. Okay, that's 166% gain. So your property appreciate by 16%. Your capital actually appreciated by 166%. So this is called leveraging. Leverage. So this is a very important word. Okay. So to answer the agent question today, is it why should I actually invest into property instead of putting money into FD or just put it into a share? Because property appreciate, like right now they say about 3%, 4% per annum. Okay. So how you would answer this question is saying that because buying property, you do not use your own money. You actually use the bank money. Then your client will have another objection. And what's the objection? They say, hey, no need to pay interest. 唔使俾利息. Yes, that's another thing that what property investors should look at. Because buying property, you will have rental yield. You see how all these things connect together? They say, oh, have to pay interest. But in fact, because you rent out your property, the rental, most of the time, will be able to cover all your interests. Okay? So later we'll do a demonstration whether a 700,000 property, the rental can cover the interest or not. Not cover the installment. So you have to differentiate between installment and also the interest. Because when you buy a property, when you get a loan, every month you're paying a repayment called installment. And in the installment, there are two parts. One is called principal, one is called interest. Yeah. So you have to understand interest and principal. So to get this moving, first we need to learn how to calculate rental yield first. Okay? Positive cash flow later. Put it down here first. Rental yield, there are also a few ways to calculate. One, okay, is your rental divided by your price, your property price, times 100. So if you buy a 600,000 property, how much rental you think you can get right now in Oakland Road? I think about 2,000 to 2,500, reasonable. For 600,000, maybe 3 bedrooms, you can get 2,500. Okay, 2,000 to 2,500. So then your 2,500, okay, divided by 600,000 times 12 times 100. Why times 12? Times 12 is 12 months. You have to calculate on a per annum basis. 2,500 times 12 divided by 600,000. So that's 5% yield. Okay, this is a gross rental yield. I mean, the fast way to do calculation. Of course, you can deduct the assessment, the management fees, and all that. Of course, that rental will be slightly lower. So normally I don't do that. But I want to demonstrate a point is that a lot of people say that, hey, my rental is not even enough to cover my installment. So every month I have to fork out money to pay the rental. To pay the installment. Then I'm making a loss. Are you actually making a loss? This is a very important concept because a lot of people actually didn't get it. You're actually not making a loss. You're only making a loss, okay, when the rental income is not enough to cover the interest part. Then you're making a loss. Okay, so let's calculate how much you need to pay, okay, for this property. Let's say 600,000 property as an example. And how, when you rent out 2005, are you actually making a loss? Let me stop this sharing because I share my another screen. I open up an Excel. And then I show you. Can you see my other screen?
Yes.
Yes, okay, good. Okay, now let's do some calcs. So if you do not know how to do that, open up your Excel. Go to Excel. There's this thing called loan amortization schedule. Okay, I've been talking about this quite some time already, but since most of you are quite new, let's discuss this again. You double click this, you open up this table. So just now I say how much loan I'm getting. I'm getting a 550,000 loan, right? For 600,000 property. Interest right now is about 4%. I can borrow up to 35 years. Extra payment no need. So open up this. Okay, so every month I'm paying actually 2,390 ringgit. So the important part I want you to look at is, you see, my payment is 2,390 ringgit. Within this 2,390 ringgit, there's principal portion. Let's put a color here, green, and also the interest portion. You see? Let me make it bigger. Okay, there is the principal portion and the interest portion. So, like I said just now, if your rental can cover your interest, you're actually making money. You're actually making money already, because the extra is actually in principal, and in principal, you can actually get back eventually. So how do you get back the money? Let's do another calc. You have to follow the flow, yeah. So I buy the property, SPA price is 600,000. 600,000. Okay, let's say this is 2023, this year. And okay, and then 5 years later, if I sell this at 700,000, how much money actually I make? And on a monthly basis, I rent out 2,005. So this is rental. Okay. So the rental, just enough to cover the installment, including the maintenance fee, because just now I show you 2003, maybe you need to fork out a bit, a little bit. So I assume, okay, your 2005, just enough to cover installment. Okay. So 5 years later, when I sell at 700,000, how much money do I actually get back? You do not actually get back 100,000 profit only, no. You actually get back much more than that. So how do you calculate that? You come here, okay, you drag this, you see there's this button here. You drag, and then you find 5 years later. 5 times 12 is 60. So you come to 60 here. So this is 60. And this is the ending balance, 500 and 800 ringgit, 500,000 and 800 ringgit. So, in fact, you sell at 700,000. You sell at 700,000. You have to minus off the loan that you're still owing to the bank. Minus this. So you are actually getting almost 200,000 cash back. You see? Why? Because the principal has already been reduced. Initially, you are owing the bank 540,000. Okay. Now you are owing the bank after 5 years, paying all the principal. You are only owing the bank 500,000. So you sell at 700,000 minus of 500,000, you actually get back 200,000. So you actually get back a lump sum of cash, 200,000 into your bank account. And how much money you have already made? You actually made 140,000. Why? Because 60,000 is yourself. You pay yourself, ma. Initially you take out 60,000, ma, the 10% down payment. And then eventually you have, of course, you have to take out your own money, lah. You have to minus off. So you are making 139,000 after 5 years. So a lot of people do not understand this. They're saying that, oh, my rental cannot cover my installment. That's why I'm making a loss. In fact, if you pull that longer, let's say I sell this 10 years later instead of 5 years. Let's say this is 2033. Okay. If this is 2033, then you look at 10 years, 10 times 12 is 120. So you come here and look at 120. So 120 is this one, 142. If I put this here and I minus this, so you see you are taking much more money. You are taking home 247,000. Imagine, okay, assume that there's this 100,000 gain. I mean, 100,000 gain within 10 years is very possible, highly possible. Okay. So your 60,000 actually become 247,000. So how much is the gain? That's 400% growth times 100%. Okay, that's within 10 years. So you divide by 10 on average. That's 41% capital appreciation. Okay, on your cash. If this 60,000, if you put into bank, put into FD, how much are you getting? 4%, 3%. But if you put in property, you're actually getting 41%. That's 10 times more. So this is the basic of property investment. Why so many rich people become rich because they invest into property is because of this concept. Not because of the property actually appreciated a lot of price, a lot. Of course, that helps a lot. But even if they do not appreciate like 10 times or 20 times, you are still making a very good return. Right? In fact, my Southlink, I bought a Southlink. That's after discount, that's 360,000. Then I sold at 480,000. So I'm making almost 100,000 profit. I get the loan is 0 down payment. Why? Because it's 10% rebate. So I'm not using any money. I'm only paying the money interest. On top of that, a bit of renovation fees. I'm making almost 70 to 80,000 net profit. So that capital appreciation is very, very high. Okay, we have a question over here. Hi, there's some client will object us saying that it's impossible to sell around 10 years. In fact, you can take a lot of example. After 10 years, 100,000 gain is very easy. You know, I bought Southlink just a few years ago. When they launched, I sold 100,000 more than what I bought. And then Wayne is over here. You know, Scarlett's, the property that we sold. His client actually sold in sub-sale market already and make 150,000 profit within 3 years. So you say 10 years cannot sell 100,000. Okay, it's possible. It's highly possible. Price per fair good 219,002, then 1,007 later. Could say good increment. Yeah, it's quite a good increment. Okay, Alice have this question. Okay, everyone listen. This is very good questions. Who can evaluate what if can't sell at the expected price? So as a property agent, there's one thing that we need to understand. It's called risk management. Risk management. So you have to ask your client, if you cannot sell at that price, okay, and then you cannot rent at that price, can you afford, okay, the extra payment that you need to come up with? Because eventually you can sell. Just that maybe that's not the right timing. Because property investment is a long-term, mid-term to long-term game. Eventually, definitely you can sell. But just within the holding period, can you sustain? So you have to ask your questions. Ask the question. Let's say, okay, your installment is 3,000 ringgit. I rented out 2,500. I need to fork out 500 ringgit extra every single month. Can you actually afford that? I normally joke with my client, after paying this 500 ringgit extra, can you still have money, okay, to buy milk for your children? Or buy milk powder for your baby? You say, okay lah, still have a lot of extra cash. Then, okay, by all means, go ahead and invest. But if cannot, if your client say, oh, after paying the 500 ringgit, I almost zero already, I don't have money left in the bank account, then sorry, Mr. Buyer, I think this property is not suitable for you. Maybe we can look at something more suitable for you. So you need to manage the risk, okay, Alice? So property, I cannot become a fortune teller saying that 10 years later, definitely you can sell at this price. But by looking at the history, okay, we can do a reasonable projection. So this is how you actually convey the message. By looking at the past history, we are actually building a reasonable projection on what the price should be 10 years later. Or you can say, let's compare with other countries and what is happening in their property market right now, most likely will happen in Malaysia 10 years later. For example, we are always like 10, 20 years behind Singapore, right? So what is happening in Singapore right now, most likely will happen in Malaysia 10, 20 years later. Do you agree with me? Just like how the Taiwanese make so much money during the Chinese property boom, is because at that time in 1980s and 1990s, what they know, what is happening in Taiwan at that time will happen in China 10 to 20 years later. So for the very smart investor, 1990s investor, they already know China will boom. So they start to invest into China in 1990s. And 20 years later, what is happening to China right now? Their property price skyrocketed like 10 times, 20 times. Yeah. And they make a lot of money. In fact, Singapore only have subsidy for property for the HDB. The private housing, they don't have subsidy. Yeah. So we are of course we have to compare with a apple to apple lah. Yeah. In Singapore, there are two kinds of property. One is a private properties, one is the HDB flat. Yeah, it's different. HDB is reasonable, is reasonably priced, subsidized by the government, but the private property is open market. It's subject to market demand and supply fluctuation, but yet they are actually fetching very good price. Yeah, but even if you buy HDB, you also make money now in Singapore. Just like people who invested into the affordable homes in back in a few years ago, they also make money. People who buy the Nuri at 300,000, they are making good profit. Rental also very good over there. Okay, but you cannot rent out lah. But you truly rent out lah. Rental is pretty good over there. Just 300,000. I think people who already bought the Vines, okay, in Damansara Central Park, they also making good money because that was like 270,000. And 270,000 right now, you can't buy anything in PJ or KL, right? That's why Mozas and Paxton are selling so well. You see, because right now in the market, you cannot find property that are under 300,000 already or around 300,000. Even it's like 500 square feet or 400 square feet, people will still buy. Why? Because my sister has a unit in Millers. the master bedroom itself is rented out as 1,500 ringgit. So people are willing to pay 1,500 ringgit to rent a bedroom, not rent the entire unit, just a single bedroom. So why pay 1,500 rental to a landlord to stay in a single bedroom? Why not invest this 1,500 ringgit and buy your own unit, and eventually you are the landlord? You see, from investment point of view and even from own stay point of view, buying Paxton and Mozart actually make a lot of sense. Why? Because it's middle of PJ. It's very beautiful. Sky swimming pool. When you come down, there's a shopping mall. One of the biggest shopping mall in Malaysia. And you're only paying 1,300 ringgit per month to own a studio unit. That's no-brainer, Because eventually when you want to rent a single bedroom or a studio unit in the area, you have to pay much more than that. Why not pay to yourself? Why are you paying to the landowner? Why not pay to yourself as a landlord? So these are the wordings that you need to phrase, okay, to make sure that these people, okay, your investor understand. That's why Mozart and Paxtons are selling so well. All right. Alice, did I answer your question? Penny also have a question of how to talk with client. We were saying that hard to sell if all the project price very high in the surrounding is pricey, matured area. Actually, no. If all the surrounding is matured and priced very well, it's very easy to sell. It's not easy to sell when the entire area is priced very low and everyone is throwing price. That is a situation where it's difficult to sell. Like I tell you, Expressions, Ceylons, Scarlets, all these are because, okay, we Mikey and Mana Mana are there, and then the occupancy are doing very well, and then we take care of the place very well. When people go there, they feel that, wow, very atas this place. They're willing to pay extra money to own a property over there. I just sold Ceylons, okay? 1 year of Ceylons. And then the buyer is from China. I mean, Malaysian working in China. Yeah, he's paying a lot of money to own a Ceylons unit because why? He likes the place. It's very well taken care of, and the surrounding, all the property price are very good. That's easy to sell. Not when everyone is throwing price, because I own a property in One South whereby everyone is throwing price. Okay, I bought at 400,000. Now it's selling at 350,000. 10 years ago. I mean, I bought at 400,000 at 10 years ago. Now it's selling at 350,000. And no one want to buy. Yeah. So that's why when you want to buy something, not buy the cheap one. You have to change your investor mindset. You buy the valuable one. Hi Dave, may I know how many per square feet you sold for Ceylon? Ceylon is 1,600 per square feet. Around 1,600 per square feet. Yeah. I already got a comp. Yeah, 5% comp. Good money, right? Fully sold already, Ceylon. Wait, that time 5%. 800,000, what is 40,000 per unit? Yeah, Ceylons we sold, 1,000. Let me check my record. Yeah, 1,500, 1,600 per square feet. I mean, Ceylons, the Exim Ceylons that we were selling. We launched at 1,500, then now it's almost like 1,600 per square feet. Scarlets fully sold, that's 1,700 square feet per square feet. No, not the one near TRX. Ceylons, Exim Ceylons. You go and search and see. It's it's near Jalan Changkat. Next to the Bursa, Malaysia. Yeah, when we launched, that time was 1,500, 1,600 per square feet. About 1,500. Correct. So don't have this mental block saying that we cannot sell, because we are very proven. For those who are quite new in IQI, we just launched a property called Nordins. Okay, Nordin's in Penang. Okay, very near to McAllister Road. It's on the Jalan Nordin. You can go to the map and search. Within one day, we sold almost 60%. Yeah. Yeah, Umi said, yeah, almost fully booked. Georgetown. How much per square feet? I think it's 1,005, right? Or 1,000. I didn't get the actual price, but it's not cheap lah. I mean, in that location. Yeah, about 1,006. Yeah. And then Kylie's, okay. For those who are in Kylie's launching the day, we sold almost 60 to 70%. That's 2,200 square feet. 2,200 square feet. 660%. And the 700 square feet, which costs about 1.4 million, are those who are fully sold out first. You see, the market, there are still a lot of rich people. Just that as an agent, how do you approach them? Now, how do you convince them this is still a good property to buy? If in your mind, you're thinking, this is very expensive, this is very expensive, cannot sell, cannot appreciate, then definitely, eventually, by law of attraction, you cannot sell one. So first, if you want to sell, the first thing you want to do is you must have the mindset, okay, saying that there are a lot of people who are willing to pay this price. Just like a lot of people think that LV is very expensive. You know, LV 10 years ago, I bought one for my mother. It's 3,500, the very classic one, the LV bag, 3,500 ringgit. You know. Now, you go to LV store, you cannot find anything below 10,000. Right? For those ladies who buy LVs and Gucci and Hermes and Chanel, it's very difficult to find something below 10,000 ringgit already. And for normal people, you would think that, oh, that's very expensive. I will never buy. But you know, LV make the most profit after MCO. Now, the founder of LV, I mean, the owner of LV, is one of the richest men on earth. At one time, he's richer than Elon Musk. So don't limit your own mindset saying that cannot sell, because there are people who are still buying. Yeah, Kylie's. Okay, let me show you. You see the day, I share.
As a result, the queues for Type A is now open. 264 plus 264.
You know what is that? Can you were you able to see the screen just now?
Yes.
You know what is that? That was Kylie's launching. And then why were they shouting? Because Grace was the agent who booked the last unit, the last studio unit. She managed to grab it. And then they were celebrating. You know, people, for something so expensive, people are fighting for the units. And the day in Kylie's was the same. You know, Jenny was sitting beside me the day. And then she was actually fighting for the dual key unit. The dual key unit is 1.4 million. Okay, 1.4 million, 700 square feet only. And yet, they say, you cannot, because that time was queuing basis. Okay, you have to get a number to queue for the unit. And you are afraid that the person in front of you actually grabbed your unit. And she was very lucky to grab the unit that she wants. And eventually that day, at the end of that day, all the dual key unit was fully sold. Right? So my point is, you have to really change your mindset. Okay, so the basic of possibility investment you have to know. So we still have a lot of things to share, but I think due to time constraint, I'll put it into another session. But let me put it in, let me open up my iPad again. Okay, so just now I already mentioned, someone asked me these questions. Who were the guy just now? That if everyone is throwing price, then I know everything is expensive in the area, then difficult to sell. In fact, no, when everything is expensive in that area, is the easiest to sell. Only when everyone is throwing price, that's not easy to sell. So from my personal experience, Penny, from my personal experience, the property, the very expensive property that I bought, okay, very easy to sell because the surrounding is very nice, easy to rent out. Okay, the neighborhood is nice, so easy to sell. The very cheap property that I bought, the 300,000, 400,000 one, I cannot sell. This is from my personal experience. I try to sell, nobody want to buy, even though it's cheap. Why? Because when they go, yes.
Just a question. I guess even the property that's expensive, I think it's based on location and the area.
Yes,
That
yes.
makes it valuable, right? Like people would want to buy even it's expensive.
Yes, yes. Correct, Lillian. It's not expensive. It's easy to sell. It's valuable. Okay, you have to buy property that is valuable. And when it's valuable, even though it's expensive, you still can sell. Imagine now you own a property in DDDI or Bangsa. Okay, a single story house, 1.5 million you can sell. No issue. If you go somewhere like Ulu Langat or even Semenyi, 1.5 million, maybe even a Samedi you cannot sell. So you have to find a property that is valuable, okay? Not only look at the price. So a lot of people want to compare, say, oh, that price is only 400,000, 300,000. But of course, you have to look at the developer. Who is the developer? You look at the location. What is the location? So when the developer is right, okay, the location is right, the neighborhood is right, then even though it's slightly more expensive, it's okay to buy because you can sell eventually and you can rent out eventually. Yeah. So Penny said they want to ask so many cheaper properties why I want to buy pricey one from you. Yeah, I already answered your question just now. You have to look at several factors, okay, not just the price. Because I have experience, I buy the cheap one, I cannot sell right now. But I buy the expensive one, I was able to rent out at a good price, and then I was able to sell at a good price. Yeah, that's how you answer to your owners or your investors.
Dave, this way now, I own something to Penny's question. I give you guys one example. Okay, you all know these property battles in Oakland Road by Exim.
Yep.
I think most of you know, right? Battles which are completed property by Exim. So now you look at Battles, right? Battles opposite and next to it, next to Battles is Descents. Descents property, the price are definitely lower than Battles, and opposite is this by Binastra Land Citizen, even cheaper that one. That one about 500,000-600,000 you can get about 1,000 over square feet. But Battles, you want to get a 1,000 square feet, you need to pay about like 800,000. Yeah. But do you see in the end Battle price are still going up and the rental are still ongoing very strong? Yeah, this is one of the very good example to show you all the same location, different developers, but more expensive pricing, but people will buy, and the rental even command a better rental on a monthly rental. Of course, it's the value behind like what Dave has just explained. It could be a very good developer, they offer better facilities, and they attract the right people to actually own to buy Battles and even rent Battles. Yeah, this is one of the best examples. Same location, surrounding, is the same thing, just next to each other only. but because of the developer and the concept and the value inside the building itself, right, it makes a difference. Yeah. So I hope this explains something to you all. Thank you.
Yep. Thank you, Wayne. Yeah, this is very true. Bettors can fetch better rental and also sell in the subsale market for better price compared to others. Even they are just next to each other. And I give you another example. You go and search this property called Sky Suite in KLCC. Sky Suite KLCC. And then you search Scarlett's. Scarlett is selling at 1,007 per square feet. Sky Suite is selling at 1,001 per square feet, 1,002 per square feet. Which location is better? Sky Suite is better. Sky Suite is just in front of KLCC. But why the price cannot go up? And cannot, the rental is very low because the developer really sucks. The swimming pool is not ready. The quality is very low, no facilities. Management is very bad. Yeah. So that's why the price cannot go up. Why I know? Because I'm an owner of Sky Suites. I own one unit over there. I can show you what the tenant wrote. Okay, let me open up my email. That day my tenant actually wrote me something. Where's my Gmail? Oh, here. Wait. Primary. Send. You see? Can you see? I would like to make a complaint because of the inconvenience and also mistreatment, which could be considered and has harassment I've been receiving from some of the guards. This is Sky Suite guards. This is my tenant, a Thai tenant from Thailand. And then complain, it say order food, no place for Grab drivers to put the food. And then they just cannot just leave it in the lockers or on the table. The driver have to wait there until the owner come down or the tenant come down and take. Sometimes when the tenant is busy, the guard does not allow the Grab drivers to actually put the food over there. Now, what age is now? I mean, a lot of the condos I look at, they have a dedicated counter for Grab food, right? You can put there and then the tenant can come down and take. Yet the management didn't do anything about it. So my tenant was complaining. Okay, and the guard scolded my tenant. And then he wrote this very long email to me. And then I replied, I also replied very long. I actually wrote it to the property management. I asked them to actually consider, okay, putting a dedicated space for the Grab drivers, food drivers to actually put the food. This will not happen in Scarlett's or Ceylon's, I can assure you. But because of bad management, that property, the rental is so low, the price is so low, yet it's in front of KLCC. So choosing the right developer is very important. Like Penny just asked, why buy the cheaper one or why buy the more expensive one when I can buy the cheaper one? Yes, you buy the cheaper one. Okay, 1 million, I bought at 1 million. I rented out 2,005 only, right? If I had bought Scarlett's, you know, Scarlett's Dual Key, 500 over square feet, how much are renting right now? The only owner is getting 5,000 ringgit per month from Airbnb. Net, pocket 5,000 ringgit every single month for the Dual Key unit. It's the same price, okay? One is 2,005, one is 5,000. Double, you know. Although Scarlett is 1,700 per square feet. Yet, Wayne client managed to sell in subsale market and make 150,000 ringgit profit. The Sky Suite one, although it's selling at 1,001 and 1,002, some of the owner even throwing price right now. Okay, selling at 700,000 ringgit, yet cannot sell. So this is just to prove a point that buying something cheaper might not be better. In terms of capital appreciation, in terms of rental yield, it might not be better. Yeah. So, Penny, how do you counter the objection is to show all this testimonial. Okay, so you see, I show you something very cool. Oh, I don't have WhatsApp here. Never mind. So the client actually bought from Subsale Market, bought the Sky Suite. And then he's now considering Hugo's or Sky Suites. Then after listening to me, he canceled the Sky Suite. He decided to buy Hugo's. Okay. One is 1,100 per square feet, or one is 1,700 or 1,800 per square feet. Yet he chose the more expensive one. Right? So cheaper not equals to better. Expensive might be better also because it's more valuable. Like Lilian said just now, you choose the correct location, correct neighborhood, correct product also from the right developer. Yeah. Okay, so this is another example that you can use to counter the objection that why buy expensive when you can buy cheaper. Actually, not difficult to counter. There are so many examples out there in the market that you can actually use. Okay, like another example, Pavilion, Bukit Jalil. Pavilion Bukit Jalil is selling 1,000 ringgit per square feet. Yet in that area, in Bukit Jalil area, there are also a lot of condos selling at cheaper price. Yet, I know a lot of people who bought into Pavilion Bukit Jalil, they make a lot of money. Why? Because capital appreciation is very good. One of my agent actually made 150,000. He bought from developer, sold at the Subsale Market. Okay, make 150,000 ringgit profit. And then rental market right now, because of Pavilion Bukit Jalil, the shopping mall is open already. The demand for rental over there is very high. And you can actually rent at a very good price. The 1,000 square feet can rent at 3,500 to 4,000 ringgit. And now the TGV is open in Pavilion Bukit Jalil. In front of TGV, there's a link bridge. That bridge actually linked directly to Park 2 residents. So Park 2 resident demand is also very high right now. Because imagine, after watching a midnight movie, you can just walk home through the link bridge. How convenient is that? I even wanted to buy a unit because of the TGV. Because the day I watched Midnight Show with my wife. And I said, wow, very convenient. The condo just over there. So imagine yourself staying there. Very, very convenient. Okay. So, so I talked about risk management just now already. So this is how you counter your buyer objection. I think Alice asked the question, right? How do you assure me that 10 years later I can sell at this price? You don't. It's all about risk management. Because if I know, I'll be very rich already. I don't have to sell property to you. Right? If I can predict how the market goes, okay, if I can predict what is Bitcoin worth tomorrow, I don't have to work anymore. I just speculate and I can become very rich. But what I can do for you, Mr. Buyer, is that we can do a risk management. What is the worst case scenario? Worst case scenario that can happen. I always like to use this. What's the worst case scenario? Worst case scenario is that you cannot rent out. Okay, you are holding a property in front of KLCC or next to KLCC. Even if you cannot rent out, that is going to be temporary. It's not going to be permanent. Because why? I run MyKey, do you know? I run MyKey. MyKey is a hospitality management company. We actually take units from owners and then we actually rented the unit to through the Airbnb portal and Booking.com portal and Agoda portal. Even during MCO, we survive. MCO, the occupancy rate is very, very low. Yet, we think of a lot of ways to actually improve the occupancy rate by doing a long lease, by lowering down the price, by targeting people who want to work from home. So we survive. We didn't go bankrupt. Now, after MCO, occupancy is almost 100% every single day. Right? So, if you can survive MCO, what are a bigger risk that can come over to you? Tell me. MCO, everybody cannot go out. Nobody want to rent your property. Okay, foreigner cannot come in. Yet a lot of property owners survive. What can be worse? You ask your buyer, what can be worse than a global outbreak of virus like COVID? I don't think it can be any worse, right? Unless Singapore come and invade Malaysia. Very unlikely, right? Or China or Thailand come and invade Malaysia. We are war at Thailand or Singapore or Indonesia, but that's very unlikely. So the only way to go forward is up. There's a lot of property actually are doing quite well after MCO. In fact, hotel business, those who survive, they are doing very well. I went to Penang that day. I went to Hard Rock Cafe, Hard Rock Hotel. Then I asked the front desk, I asked them, hey, what's your occupancy right now? They say now is every day full. Weekdays are full, weekend also full. Before MCO is even better than before MCO. So economically wise, there are a lot of people are doing very well. Of course, you can also say a lot of people are doing not so well. But in fact, I look at a lot of companies during MCO time, they are doing very well. After MCO, they're also doing very well. Okay, if you don't believe me, I show you. Now, I have a lot of testimonials. This kind of information you won't be able to get anywhere else. Just from me. Because I own, I have a CITOS account. So I can check people's background. Okay, I open a company report for you to see. Wait, I need to log in. Wait, give me like 1 minute time. I log in first. Okay. Wait, not loading. Okay, can you see my screen? Can? Can see, can see my screen? Can see
Yes,
put on
yes.
the... Okay, cool. Okay, look at this. This company, let's look at the record. You see, let me scroll up. This is pre-MCO. His revenue is 4.7 million, making 500,000 profit. MCO time, 6.4 million, making 1.7 million profit. After MCO, or still MCO within MCO 2021, 9 million revenue. After profit after tax, this is profit after tax, 2.1 million. You see the growth? Hey, a lot of people are doing very well, you know. Why so many people buy property? It's not suddenly they become rich, you know. Because MCO they make them very rich. I'll show you another report. This is another company that I searched. You see, revenue, okay, revenue. You see pre-MCO, 3 million, making profit 800,000. Then MCO loss, then 2021 are still MCO, actually double, you know, you see. Before MCO, 3 million revenue. After MCO, 6 million. Profit also double. Right? Yeah. And then some of the company also I can show you. You see revenue? 200,000, 700,000, 1.6 million, 1.8 million, 1.5 million. Profit also growing. So I believe all of you may have encountered people saying that, hey, economy is no good, right? Anyone have encountered this kind of response before? Economy is no good, market is no good. You put a number 1 in the checkbox below. Yeah, a lot of people say market is no good, right? But I can tell you, market is very good. Just depend on where you stand. Because people around me, a lot of my friends are doing business in the construction business, in the hotel business, in the apps business, online business, e-commerce business. During MCO, they make the most profit. Really. My company, I have a trading company. During MCO, I make the most money. Yeah. You know, people from the transportation industry, they give 36 months bonus. There was one company that give 36 months bonus. Meaning the company make a lot of money. No? So, as a financial consultant or property consultant, we always have to think, okay, not from the angle of the general public, oh, market is no good and all this. We have to think from another angle. When market is no good, means that there are some people who make a lot of money. Because it's a zero-sum game, you know. If the money is not in your pocket, means it's in my pocket. Because money cannot disappear, you understand? Money cannot disappear. If it's not in your pocket, means it's in someone else's pocket. Means someone else is getting richer. Okay, if I lay off my employees, meaning that I save some money, the money that I save means is I have more profit. You understand the concept? So if you look at IQI, IQI is doing very well in MCO and after MCO. So if you ever encounter people saying that property is no good, market is no good, then you can give all these examples. In fact, if you go to the top richest person net worth in the world or in Malaysia, the net worth is actually increasing. All these rich people are getting richer. And Singapore, the number of millionaires increased by the most, okay, during MCO. Yeah. So that's why when you see people, when people say they don't have money and market is no good, then maybe that guy is not your target market. You should find someone else who are well off, okay, who have the money. So it's a number game. For us, it's a number game. If you cannot buy, means someone else can buy. Okay, don't have this mindset. Okay, I face a few objections. Okay, I approach this customer. He told me that he don't have money. Market is no good. Then I feel down. I feel stressed. I feel depressed. I say, oh, this property line cannot work. Okay, this industry cannot work. Just because someone else told you it cannot work, it doesn't mean that it cannot work. Okay, you have to look at all these people who are doing very well. Look at IQI. There are a lot of people buying Rolexes, okay, buying cars, upgrading houses. These people are doing very well. So we have to look at the 20%. Okay. Oh, where am I? Wait, let me open up my iPad again. Okay, so let me share my iPad again. Any questions so far? I think today's session is pretty good because a lot of people ask questions. Normally, it's not so many people ask questions. So yeah, risk management, worst case scenario. What's the worst thing that can happen? So why I want to tell you all this is because that this is how you answer your client questions. Okay, by confidently showing the actual numbers, then you can convince them to believe you. Right? Okay, I'll skip property management, investment strategy. I'll save it for another day. Yep, we talked about location also. Just now, Lillian asked, you have to buy good location, valuable location where you can rent out easily, where you have good neighborhood and people who want to stay there. So not just looking at the price. DSR, I'll do another day. Basic necessity, I talk about. Okay. All right. So let's summarize what we have done today. we started with asking you these questions. Why invest into property? Okay, a lot of people give me a lot of answers. Okay, you have money, make more money, save more money as a savings, retirement fund, have a better living standards, I have a better house to stay, get rental income, retirement fund as a collection. Some people buy for collection also. So this is a very niche market. Some very rich people, when you sell something very expensive like Kylie's, okay, someone just asked, I think in the chat box, how can you sell something 2,200 ringgit per square feet? You don't talk about investment anymore. That one is about collection. Okay, collection is more important because I own a property in front of KLCC, freehold property in front of KLCC by Exim. So I can invite my friends over to my property. So I have face, okay, ada muka. Then this is collection. Okay, a lot of people buy that. That's like people buying LV, buying Gucci, buying Hermes. Really, you think that's for investment? No, that's for showing off. So people also buy property to show off. So when you target this kind of people, okay, you have to let them imagine. Okay, you bring your friends over, you bring your mother-in-law over. The feeling, what kind of feeling? They will feel that, wow, this guy is really good. So by investing just 3,000 ringgit per month or 4,000 ringgit per month, you can have this kind of status. Okay, dream, own stay, pass to children, we talk about. And then, okay, and then I also started with VFM. What's in it for me? So in your presentation, you always have to bear in mind that what you say has to be related to your client. What's in it for me? And I show several examples, like the location mid-valley. Why is it so important? Because of the convenience, easy to get food, easy to do shopping, okay, easy to move around. And then I also talk about 4 bedrooms, whereby your parents can come over to stay, your children, if you have 2 children, each of them can have 1 bedrooms, so they don't have to stay in a living room. And also talk about tidiness. Okay, you can turn one of the bedroom into a store where your wife can put all the clothes in the closet in the extra bedroom. And so I also talk about a big swimming pool where you can imagine yourself bringing your girlfriend over, okay, or the girl that you like, okay, you bring him over or bring her over. Okay, this is just several examples. You can come up with your own examples. The today exercise is to make you think, okay, in your presentation, how you can relate what you say to what your client needs. Then investment, we talk about capital appreciation and then rental yield. Okay, capital appreciation, I will show you how to calculate the ROI. The two ways to calculate ROI. One is based on price. Yes, one is based on price. One is based on initial investment. Okay, both this calculation is valid, but when you want to do really detailed calculation, you do the COC calculation. That will give you a very nice number. This 160 over percent. Okay, and then I also talk about rental yield. Rental yield, whether your rental can cover your installment, okay, does not matter. The most important thing is it can cover your interest. I show you the table, the mortgage amortization table, remember? And then I show you if your rental can cover your installment after 10 years, you do not only make, okay, the profit, you also make the reduction in the loan amount. For example, 10 years later, the loan amount is reduced by 100,000. This 100,000 will actually reappear when you sell the property. So you do not only get back 100,000, you get back 200,000. Okay, I already done the ROI calculation. Okay, I also answer these questions. Why buy property when the FD give you 4% and 6%? And the answer to this question is OPM. In property, you can leverage, okay, on others people's money and then turn your return 100 times, or sorry, 10 times. 10 times. Okay. And then we do a comparison between cheap and valuable, whereby a lot of people ask the questions that why buy cheap or why buy expensive when you have cheap. So I already show you a lot of examples, okay, like Wayne say Petters and say versus Sands, Sky Suites versus Scarlett's, and my condo was a cheap one in Sri Kembangan, cannot sell, cannot rent out, okay, although it's very cheap. Yep. So that concludes today's session. I hope you have learned a lot of things. I will save the slide just now into PDF and send it to the group so you can refer back. So, any questions? Do you think today's session is helpful? If you think it's helpful, can you put number 8 in the chat box below? Okay, I see a lot of 8s. Good. So, what I want to try to say is, as a property investor and as a property negotiator, we need to understand the basics of property investment so that we can counter our client objections. And then when you can counter their objections, the chances of you closing the deal is a lot higher. So the foundation, okay, the fundamental of property investment has to be right. Okay, you have to be strong. So whenever your client throw you some questions, you can very confidently answer. Like how a lot of people ask the questions in the chat box just now. There are a lot of testimonials that can help you to actually counter the objection. Yeah. And when you can do that, you can close a lot of deals. I can assure you. Yeah. So any more questions? So if there's no more questions, thank you very much for coming today. I hope you have learned something good, and make sure that you apply, okay, what you learned today to your career. Yeah. Thank you. Oh, okay, wait. Can you turn on your webcam? We take a group photo. For those who are still here, can we take on a webcam? You turn on a webcam and then we take a group photo. Okay, turn on your webcam. We take a screenshot. Wait for everyone to turn on first. Okay. Okay, look at the camera. 1, 2, 3, smile. Okay, one more. 1, 2, 3, smile. All right. Thank you very much. So next week, we're gonna have a same session also, 8 o'clock, Elite One Academy in Zoom. Yeah. So see you there. I believe that the way forward is to learn. Okay. If you learn a lot of things, eventually you'll be very successful. Definitely. So all the top closer, top sales, they actually spend a lot of time learning. Okay. So thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Dave. Bye-bye. Bye,
Thanks,
everyone.
Lillian.
Bye.